Good morning, Guardians. Briar Rabbit today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so let's just jump right in. First of all, Lord Saladin is bringing the Iron Banner back today, and he's got some really cool loot. We've got the auto rifle from the new, well, it's a new auto rifle from the Iron Banner, a new shotgun from the Iron Banner. We got class items, and we got the armor, or the gauntlets, depending on your character. So it should be a really fun Iron Banner this week. If you guys don't know, if you've never come over to my Twitch panel, come on over, or Twitch page, come on over to my Twitch page today or anytime this week. What I like to do for Iron Banner, and the reason I love Iron Banner so much, is I basically create teams of viewers every day for Iron Banner. Get teams of 6s in there, have a bunch of fun, have some crazy conversations, get a lot of wins, get a lot of grinding done as a group, and have a lot of fun over there. So if you've never played Iron Banner with a team, or your team's not available, it's really fun to play as a group in Iron Banner. It really makes the experience much more fun, and the loot grind goes a lot faster because you're more likely to win matches as a team. So come on over, stop by the Twitch channel. I usually stream in the afternoons, and I love playing Iron Banner with viewers. It's a great opportunity to play some chilled out PvP with the viewers and with the community. Next up, I wanted to talk about the artifacts. Now, I usually don't talk about the artifacts when they're new, but this week they're very exciting to me. We do have a repeat already. Memory of Timur is a repeat. This is the one that allows you to melee attack minor minions of the darkness and have them become your allies. Not very useful in my opinion. I've seen some very hilarious clips on YouTube of people using this thing, but for the most part, I can't really see a big use for this, especially, you know, it's obviously not useful at all in PvP, but, you know, it does create some pretty hilarious clips. The one I'm most looking forward to, and I don't think it's actually all that useful, is the Memory of Radagast. Gain the ability to reflect energy-based projectiles when guarding with a sword. So Nova Bombs, rockets, all sorts of stuff is going to be able to be reflected with your sword now. I can't wait to bring this into Iron Banner. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. I can't wait to absolutely shock people who are throwing a Nova Bomb at me or shooting a rocket at me, and all of a sudden the thing's coming right back at them. This should be a lot of fun. I don't know if it's going to be all that useful or all that practical, but I'm definitely going to be running this thing for a lot of time over the week, testing it out and just having some laughs with it. The one I think is probably most worth picking up, though, and most valuable is the Memory of Galleon. This one basically gives you radar when you're using your primary weapon. So you don't need a perk that does that. You don't need a perk on your helmet or on the weapon that does it. This gives it to all of your primary weapons, which is very valuable. It can be valuable in, you know, situations like the raid where there's shanks just coming at you from 360 degrees. It can be very valuable in PvP when maybe you're watching a certain area to see a guy come out and another guy's trying to flank you. You know, I think it's an underrated perk, and having it available to all your primary weapons and freeing up that perk slot for other perks on a weapon is also very valuable. So I think this Memory of Galleon is actually pretty damn good. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the podcast. The Destiny Community Podcast has now been made available on iTunes. I'll put a link down in the description. This is probably the most requested thing that the podcast team has heard over the last week. And we're really happy to have this one available. So the link is in the description. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could leave a review. That really helps us get some traction on iTunes, helps us get higher up in the podcast listings. So that would be really awesome if you guys could do that. It is coming to the Google Play Store too. I'm working on that personally. Similar to with iTunes, there's kind of a review process that you have to go through to get it done. So I'm working on that with the Google Play Store. I'm working, the iTunes Store is already up, or the iTunes link is already up. If you want to watch the YouTube version, you can do that over on Patrick Casey's channel. Patrick Casey, if you don't know, is Holtzman's real name. You can also watch it on Tefty Tef's Twitch channel if you look in the VODs. And you can even go to destinypodcast.com and get a direct RSS feed for whatever other kind of player you're using. So we're really excited about the podcast. We got more stuff to share with you coming very soon. There's t-shirts on the way, which I'm personally excited about. I can't wait to get a Destiny Community podcast t-shirt for myself. But the podcast thing is going great. I can't wait till Thursday so we can record another one, episode 2. That should be a lot of fun. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was players going AFK in strikes. Now, this is something that has been going on basically since the beginning of Destiny, but because doing strikes is so valuable right now for people looking to level up their characters so they can do Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, the Raid, it's really kind of spotlighted in the community right now. Basically what I'm talking about here is when single players load into matchmaking, they get grouped up with random players, obviously. And sometimes what will happen is one or two of those players will decide, well, I don't actually want to play this strike. I just want you to pull me through so I get the experience, I get the rep, and I get the rewards. And what happens is the players who are playing, whether that's one or two players, if it's one player, man, I'll just leave the strike altogether. But if it's two players, it ends up taking them longer to do the strike. It becomes a harder strike. You know, if you're doing Shield Brothers with Solar Burn right now, that's already a hard strike with 3 players. It's very difficult with just 2, especially when there's one just sitting there doing nothing. I think this is something that Bungie needs to address because it's been going on since the beginning of Destiny. It's been going on for over 2 years now. It's really annoying as a player who just wants to burn through these strikes, get some experience, get some rep, get some loot going, level up my character. Having somebody just drag me down is very frustrating. And I feel like it's a very solvable problem. And I don't understand why Bungie isn't taking a look at this and just, you know, making it happen. I see a couple of ways to do this. Obviously, you could have player voting to kick a player. I think that has the potential to be abused a little bit, and I'd worry about the implementation of that. I would hate to see, you know, all of a sudden a player get kicked right at the end of the strike, even though he's done nothing wrong. I think there'd be the opportunity for trolling there. But definitely if a player just remains in the starting area for, I don't know, more than a minute, just boot him right away because he's clearly not contributing to the fire team if he's been just standing there for a minute. Obviously, the game already kicks players who are inactive, who are not moving at all, but players know how to get around that. They rubber band the control sticks around so their Guardian just runs around in circles or runs forward into a wall for a while or whatever they do. But Bungie really needs to address this because it makes the strike playlist as a solo player very frustrating, and you'll find that, you know, every time you load into a strike with match-made players, everybody, the first thing they do is they look around to see, are these players even going to play? Are these players that I got match-made even going to participate in this activity? Or are they just going to sit there, you know, being lazy? Like, how lazy do you got to be to not want to play a video game, to be too lazy to play a level in a video game? You just want the rewards for being there, but you don't want to actually play. You know, it's very frustrating, and I think Bungie should address this. If they don't do it soon, you know, there's an increase activity in the strike playlist right now because it is such a good opportunity to level up your characters. You get great loot up to 365. It's, I think, the fastest way to level up a character to 365. And then after, you get quite a bit of loot from using 3 of coins, from opening strike chests, and it remains a pretty good source of loot after that. If you want to level up to 385 or 387, whatever the case may be, the strike playlist is still a good way to do it. Although with Iron Banner coming out, I suspect that'll be a faster way to go. Trials of Osiris was certainly a faster way to go. I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna end this discussion. But yeah, I'd really like to see Bungie take a look at the tendency for players to go AFK during strikes. It really is an annoying phenomenon that happens in Destiny, and I think it's a very solvable problem. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like I said, once Lord Saladin has the gear for sale, we'll be taking a look at exactly what roles he has later today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day.